Welcome to the milk bar. 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 Welcome to the milk bar.
Welcome along to episode 610 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show, we've got loads of great music for you. We've got the brand new single from Right Said Fred. Pamela Sue Mann will be joining us with her latest song too, live and direct from New York. We will also be hearing from Jerome Arab about his work and some fantastic musical enterprises that he has going on. And whilst we're talking about musical enterprises, Universal Ents have got the greatest show. We're having a natter with Max, Amy and Emma all about that one and finding out what's going on with their work. Plus, we're having a natter with Rupi Lal about the Cucumber Writers and all the other things that he gets up to, which is absolutely loads of stuff. Plus, we'll find out what LGBT Sparkle are talking about this week as they go into the world of adoption. That's all coming up on episode 610. Your Inner Light is Love is the fantastic new single from Right Said Fred. I'm joined now by the Fair Brass Brothers to tell me more. Hello, boys.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm good. I trust we find you both well.
Yeah, we're fine, actually. We're good.
Not bad.
That's the way to do it. Right, so we've got a brand new single out there. This comes after a long line of hit after hit after hit. I think with compilations, you're on more than 10 albums now. You just keep producing music and your fans are loving it, aren't they?
Well, I hope so, yes.
Yeah, we
can't stop.
We've got nothing else to do.
Got nothing else to do.
Yeah, we just... I think when we're writing, we enjoy it, and we like what we're writing. Then we record it and release it. And sometimes we're lucky and it's very successful. And other times we're not lucky and it stiffs. But that doesn't really. I don't know. It's just what we do, really.
But there are people out there with a whole back catalogue. We know that. And I think if we go back to when you really first burst onto the scene and we learnt about you with I'm Too Sexy. I mean, that song has probably caused, we're going back, 30 years now, aren't we?
Yeah, 30 years this July.
Yeah, and that means you have probably been responsible for at least some of the 28 and 29-year-olds running around this planet, because without it, their parents would never have got together.
That is possibly true, yes. Fortunately, we're not liable for their school fees or anything else.
When it comes down to your inspiration these days, I mean, it's a very gospel-built track that we've got out there now, and a fantastic look and sound to it.
We've always been big fans of the Primal Scream track, Come Together. Mm-hmm. And Oh Happy Day, which I know is a bit sort of corny now to mention that, but it's still a great track. And yeah, it's a feel-good track. And the song for us has an evangelical undertones to it. So we wanted that gospel thing. A girl we work with quite regularly, Kat Deal, she's a vocal arranger and she works with the gospel undertones. So we got her involved, and that's why we went for that. We wanted that evangelical sort of positive, hands in the moment. Hands in the air moment.
Yeah, given the situation that everybody's, endured for the last 12 months or so. Mm-hmm. The track we did before this was called We're All Criminals, and that was quite a dark thing because we were holding a mirror up to what we thought the UK was walking into and the way it was. It wasn't a protest song. People call it a protest song. It wasn't. So as a contrast to that, we want to do something really bright and breezy and something that cheered people up, something, happy.
Yeah, you can't get more feel-good than this track. And that is, I think, when you've shone the brightest, isn't it, when you're putting a smile on people's faces. There's so much in the back catalogue. Even the likes of Deeply Dippy and all the songs that we still get played on the radio now because they are true classics. And I think it is just the underlying feel-good factor that is Right Said Fred.
Yeah, it's just, we just, I don't know what it is. I think we do it initially, I think, probably to cheer ourselves up. Yes. Because we're not innately happy. We're not miserable, but we're just kind of
prone to
depression a little bit. Yeah. So we do it partly to cheer ourselves up, and we tend to write when we don't think about it. We tend to write gloomily.
Yes.
Right. We tend to write in a very sort of minor third kind of way, and we consciously have to pull ourselves out of that, and we have to think. We have to think in terms of how, if I'm sitting on the sofa and I'm listening to music and it makes me miserable, I turn it off. Mm-hmm. I want stuff that makes I want stuff that makes me feel good. And
so you're not a fan of Radiohead then, or anything like that? You really are much more upbeat and pop.
No, I mean, I love listening to some of the Dublin recordings with Bruce Springsteen.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
You know, it's so. When you hear the "Pay Me My Money Down," and the whole crowd are singing the chorus, it is just, you know, it's so life affirming. Mm-hmm. And there's a version of very, very quickly. There's a version of Heroes played by King Crimson, which was delivered in Berlin. You know, when the wall came down.
Yeah, and
it is just it's life affirming. It's really watching that wall come down and the people walking through the gap, and you know, that's what it's, for me, that's what it's about, really.
But I mean, when it comes down to it, though, I mean, you guys, under normal circumstances, are travelling the globe. You've got such a huge fan base across the world. Hits in more than 70 countries when it came down to the earliest of hitting number one. And this has just sort of left you in the hearts of many a nation.
Yeah, we don't travel.
We're not travelling at the moment.
We walk to the local restaurant and go in the back door. But that's about it.
We go for takeaways and stuff, but we'll do what we're allowed. But we would normally be on the road at the moment. Where are we now? It's January. No, March. Yeah, we should be on the road. We had some run in March. Go back for 2020. That's now. Everything's now for us. Most of the stuff's already moved to 2022, and we would have been somewhere. And I think we normally do like a summer run as well, sort of May to September sort of thing, like lots of bands do, the festivals, and that's all going to be on hold pretty much, I would think. I know some people. I've got this June 21st thing. I think a lot of festivals they might try it, and I hope they succeed. But I think it's going to be very difficult.
Well, the government are talking about underwriting the insurance now on some of these big festivals.
If they did that,
would in terms of the UK, that would definitely help.
Yes, it would. Yeah. Well, we've been talking to insurance because we have to have public liability.
Yep.
And no insurance will cover you at the moment for COVID. Because it's too unknown and everyone's very nervous about this. You know, someone sneezes backstage and everything gets shut down. You know, so you can't work under those circumstances. No. So if the government did that, although I think this government, I don't want to get political, but I think there've been an absolute embarrassment.
Absolute
shower.
A bloody shower.
But if they did that, then good on them, because it's about time they helped out the arts and the live entertainment.
But the travelling issue, gigging abroad, is going to be the next.
I think that's a big issue.
That's a huge issue with the elevated costs now.
It is.
But the world does want you back, and I suppose as well. Do you get to share quite a range of music when you go? And do you enjoy touring an album, or do you like playing the stuff which has sort of inspired generations now?
I love the old stuff.
Yeah, we tend to mix it up a lot. So what we do is we tend to play all the stuff people know, and on top of that, we will add songs that we like, and we will add songs that we know are popular with people. And so occasionally we'll do a cover. We might do like a segue. We do a Bad Touch by Bloodhound Gang. Yeah.
And you said Hound Dog.
Yeah, by Bloodhound Gang. And we do Feel So Close by Calvin Harris.
Yeah.
So we do that, and we use those as segues. But overall, I mean, personally, I know lots of bands have different opinions about this, but if I go and see Depeche Mode, I want to hear Enjoy the Silence. If I go and see... if I went to see the Stones, I want to hear "Start Me Up" and
Brown Sugar or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, their catalogue is extraordinary.
Yeah.
So I think I think the band should play the songs that got them there in the first place. Mm-hmm. But that's our personal opinion.
Yeah, a guy that we used to work with, what he said, which I think is true, is when you have a hit song, the song that no longer just belongs to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of belongs to everybody, so you owe it to the audience to perform it. So when you hear stories of artists not touching some of their biggest hits because they're fed up with it or whatever, I kind of disapprove of that, really. I think you should, because the song belongs to the people that bought it.
Yep. Well, you're still taking your top off, I'm sure, every time you sing "I'm Too Sexy." That's pretty much guaranteed.
Not so much now. I do take my trousers off when I'm doing the housework.
Let's not go there. However, we are going to love Your Inner Light Is Love, and it is the brand new single. Give us all the socials for those who haven't spotted how to find you.
Right, we're on Facebook, /Right Said Fred. Right Said Fred. Our website is rightsaidfred.com. And on Twitter, we're at the Freds. Instagram, Right Said Fred Official.
That'll do the job. But I mean, fun from you whenever you're out there doing stuff on all of those channels. The music is, of course, what we live for. Your Inner Light of Love is a fantastic song, and so the video that goes with it, absolutely awesome as well. Right Said Fred, Richard, and Fred Fairbrass. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Shine your light on love. Let's see it all. Rejuvenate me like a waterfall. I am relying on a shining bright enough to break my fall. It really would be something if we could all agree. I'm a lot like you, you're a lot like me. Shine your light on love, shine your light on us. Shine your light because your inner light is love. Shine your light on friends, shine your light on them. Shine your light because your inner light is love. Everyone will shine at the same time. It's not too late to radiate. They can't tell the difference, 'cause there's none to see. I'm a lot like you, you're a lot like me. Shine your light on love, shine your light on us. Shine your light because your inner light is love. Shine your light on friends, shine your light on them. Shine your light because your inner light is love.
The Greatest Show is an entertainment experience like no other. A fantastic piece of work. I'm joined now by three of the creators behind it. We've got Max, Emma and Amy. Hello to you all.
Hello.
So who's going to go first and tell me a little bit about the show itself?
I'll go. Yeah, so The Greatest Show, actually, it all began a couple of years ago. It was it was initially like an arena tour. So we went to venues like Newcastle, Leeds, Belfast, and we managed to get some rights from Disney to perform a number of songs by them and The Greatest Showman, and so it's a show for kind of all the family. And there isn't that many of them going around at the moment.
It kind of takes variety to the next level, doesn't it? And I know that, so you've got an amazing team that work on all of these parts of it. Emma, tell us a bit about what you do.
I'm a singer for in the show, so I do some singing and a bit of dancing as well. It's a huge cast, so there are maybe 4 or 5 singers at one time, male and female. So yeah, it's really good fun. And
it is about bringing a true live musical experience to an audience that probably hasn't seen anything on this scale before.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's massive. It's such a big cast. You've got people that do all sorts of things: fire breathing, aerial, silks hoop. It's such a visual show, and it just looks amazing.
And Amy, bringing all this together must be an amazing thing to do. How do you fit in that with the part of the team?
Yeah, so I'm one of the dancers in the group. There's 4 female dancers. We have a range of other dancers. We have hip hoppers as well. We have male dancers. So there's a bit of something for everyone. It doesn't matter what kind of dancing you like. Everything's covered. And
with what you're doing on stage like this, it's all about the look and the costumes as well. And no expense has been spared, has it?
No, we've just got a load of new costumes, which is amazing. There's lots of sparkle and feathers, so that all adds to the visuals as well.
Let's just go in a little bit there. Amy actually has made a load of our costumes like herself. Like during lockdown, she's been at home like sequining like lots of different things. Yeah. Like she's done amazing.
Yeah, over 2,000 individual rhinestones I've probably put on the costumes over the last couple of weeks.
And yeah, without this glitz and glamour, I mean, it's just not the same. And you guys really, really know how to put this into a show. And once you're able to get back up and touring, that will be absolutely amazing. But you've done some video work recently as well, and it must be nice to be able to get involved and keep that spirit alive, Max.
Exactly. It's been really tough over lockdown. There's been very little work. We did a driving tour. We did the Greatest Show there as part of that, which was fun. But we got contacted by a client to distribute this show to like an international audience. I think it's going all over Europe, and I think it's going to Australia as well. So yeah, it's the first time we've actually managed to kind of have a vision, this new way of life at the moment. It's, we're doing it like a video instead of having it in front of an audience. So it was a little bit strange doing it and not getting an applause at the end when we were filming. But it was really interesting. It was pretty big filming set. It was a massive red and white like big top that they'd simulated, and then lots of different cameras, so we did have to kind of adapt and change to fit this video style.
Yeah, and so that's probably why it's not been filmed before, because it is such a big show. You do need a large studio setup to do it. It'd been great with an audience, so unfortunately it couldn't be at the moment, but that isn't going to take away anything from any of the performances. And when it comes down to the songs, I mean, it's a show which is very family orientated, entertainment orientated, and it must be getting that feedback that normally drives the performances even harder.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had this show has changed a lot from when we first started, and it's only down to the feedback that we've got from customers that we've adapted and changed to meet more people's what more people want. So it is changing, it is evolving in a positive way. It's really come on from when we first started to where we are now. It's just crazy.
But it means you can go and see it twice as well, because you say you were evolving it and changing things around. You'll see more. I'm sure, Amy, you end up doing new dance numbers and things change there.
Oh yeah, we do new ones all the time, and we adapt the ones that we've got. Just even for the venue, sometimes we have to adapt it a little bit. But everyone's brilliant. Everyone picks it up, and the show's brilliant every time. And
Emma, the sort of songs you're singing, they're hairs on the back of the neck moment, aren't they? And it must be great delivering that to an audience who are probably just sat there completely in awe.
Yeah, it's great. You can do the heartbreak songs, and you can really touch an audience, and then you can do something really upbeat and really just get them off on the feet and ready for a party.
So, fingers crossed things will be back to relatively normal soon. Obviously, Max, I know you guys are going to be putting more rehearsals together to get everybody in with the new costumes and everything as you head into what will hopefully be a good late summer season for 2021.
That's the plan. Obviously, everything's still up in the air at the moment. There is a reckoning that we are going to be opening up in June, fingers crossed. And then we could look to do something later down on the year. But I think really it's scoping things out and making sure it's the right time for us as a brand to be able to kind of release a show where we're going to have a lot of people together at one time. So we've just got to be careful and make sure that it's the right moment for us as it is for the wider public.
Yeah, because I mean, you need that audience. I mean, that, as you say, is what drives it. This is an audience-led show. It is about entertaining. It's about bringing them the greatest show, and they have to be part of that. And it's a great audience really makes it all come to life.
It does. Everyone's got to be, there's got to be togetherness, and it's been 2 years that we've not been able to do that. So as soon as we are allowed to do that, then we'll go out with a bang and hopefully see a lot of people up and down the country.
Well, we'll look forward to being able to visit you somewhere on the road. Meanwhile, where do we go to keep up with everything that you're doing on the socials?
Yep, so if you like our parent page, it's Universal Ents. We put a lot of information on there, and also The Greatest Show is an information page just about the specific show. But we do a lot of different shows, and a lot of things are going on at the moment. So yeah, head to our socials and check out what we're doing. I'll
check that out. You can see these guys performing, singing, little clips on there, and some great photos extending what you've already seen on the show that they've been recording of late. But it's always good to catch up with truly talented performers, and I know that's exactly what we have here. It's going to be a joy to see you, hopefully very soon in 2021. For now, Emma, Amy and Max, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jason.
Very much.
Pamela Sue Mann has a brand new single, I Want Your Soul. It's quirky, it's wonderful, and I'm sure that's how we can describe Pamela as well, who joins me now for a chat. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, and thank you for joining me, because I record these interviews at all sorts of funny times of day for me, and it's an even stranger one for you because you're in New York and it's 4:30 in the morning at the minute.
Yeah, it is, and I have to confess I'm not really much of a morning person.
Well, let's just class this as last night still for you, and we'll be fine. So give us a bit of background to you and your music, because you have been rocking the New York scene for a little while now.
A little bit, yeah. I went to music college in Boston at Berklee College of Music, and then I flew down south and had a crazy band, and then I realized that I probably should go back north and make my way to New York, and just started, I realized that my stuff was just so unique, let's say, that I wanted to just, and I got great advice from people I really admire that said, just keep doing what you're doing and develop it and grow it. Don't try and change. Don't try and be a side person and make money, doing this, because it'll take away from your artistry. You need to find yourself as an artist to find your voice. So it was really great advice, very sage advice. So I took that advice. I remained poor and, I moved from Boston to New York City and, went to open mics on my piano, took my little keyboard piano or played whatever they had, tune or out of tune, didn't matter. And, was part of this fantastic New York scene. I feel like I came a little bit late. Like there was Shanae and Jeff Buckley and all this really amazing stuff going on in New York City in the 90s. And it kind of came in the tail end of all of that. But there's, Nora Jones. There's so much really great music and great studios. And there were still really, great studios up and running then. So, just got to meet and work with all these fantastic people, all my mentors, and just kept doing the weird little quirky, strange kind of music that was coming out of me, and here I sit with you.
I absolutely adore the sound, and I think the visuals that run along with the new video are amazing too. And this, again, it is, as you say, it's the art that has to come first. It may mean that you end up not getting the financial recompense that you deserve initially, but it's when you are discovered and it then becomes big that you can then hope for the houseboat and stuff. But with the way things work in the US, in the UK we've got the Birmingham scene, the Wolverhampton scene. We've got musicians from the likes of Manchester and Liverpool that that have done the thing. There are like regions within music, and do you find that within a state itself in the US, or do you find that, say, you were talking about the New York and Boston scene, is it very much one city defines a state or otherwise?
I think there was a time when it was really strongly that you might have Chicago, you might have Boston, you might have California. There's still a bit of a sound regionally, but the real strong divide would be, no pun intended, would be really like the South, the Southern sound, or Nashville, and that more sort of country sound. Or then you've got the East Coast. So maybe it's not quite as different, which is funny because Britain's a lot smaller than the States. But I think maybe people just eventually move to these big cities, and there's a, homogenous thing that kind of happens. Yeah, and then indie. It's just, I don't even know what the indie scene is in the States now. It's
I suppose it is waiting to see what's going to happen next musically, and particularly what's coming out of the current situation, and with people working in different ways as well. And has your work sort of changed its form and shape because of the current pandemic?
Not really. I mean, because I think some of us just always work in an isolated bubble, whether things are going on normally, whether there's a recession, whether things are good. We're in our own little cave creating. And I suppose it's all a statement about what's around us. I was actually just having a conversation with like a dear friend, really, really talented drummer called Sterling Campbell. And he was just talking about, he feels like the time is right. It's right for something massive and global to come out musically, to really kind of be a statement of what the hell's been going on. We've had our Bowie, and we've had a Radiohead, and I'm really curious to see what's next.
Well, I personally think it could be your sound hitting that pandemic market, as it were, and really becoming rather infectious, because it is just such an edge to what you've done here. And I've heard the current single. I haven't heard enough of the back catalogue. So we've got, from what you're saying, nearly 3 decades worth of material I've got to catch up on here.
Well, thanks. Yeah, but this one definitely, this album Break was self-produced. And so it's a departure because it was less guitar. I happened to be married to an amazing guitarist. But this time I said, I'm going to do it on my own. And he said, great. So I produced it, and it's really kind of a combination of a lot of little toy instruments. I have a toy instrument a friend gave me, but with the classical instruments in juxtaposition. So you've got an upright bass, and you've got acoustic piano, and you've got some drum kit, but you've just got those two worlds, and then the lyrics, which are just, I don't even know how to quantify them. They're just very much me.
So with the work that you're doing, with everything that's going on, what happens next? Because you say we have an album which is about to emerge. Is that available now?
It's been slowly emerging. It's definitely available. I mean, I now have everything available on Bandcamp, so someone can actually purchase anything through me. But this album Break has been released in the UK through Maniac Squad, which Tom Wilcox owns the label. He's fantastic. He's just a tastemaker, and he's totally punk rock. He's fantastic. He's a god. So the music is coming through there. We did a tour several months before lockdown happened, and we went through England, and it was fantastic. And I'm just hoping that when it's safe to come out and play again, then we'll go and we'll do more shows. I played with Richard Strange and a lot of the musicians from Iggy Pop's band, and Terry Edwards and Paul Cuddiford, and some really, really fantastic people. So, just keep doing it. I think I'll be releasing a lot of little singles and see where it goes. Already it's starting to kind of do this, and it feels good, I have to say.
Well, everything deserves to be on the up, and it's great to hear the music. So what else would you give us behind the current song? What background?
Well, in many different traditions, there's a concept of a twin soul theory, if we're getting philosophical. And I think it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. It might sound kind of creepy to people, but but the truth is, it's really a very sweet plea from one half of a soul to another half of a soul to meet and ascend. So it's kind of a love song in a way.
Well, we will take a listen to that. Meanwhile, give us all the details on the socials, first of all, please.
Okay, you can find me. It's Pamela Sue Mann, and you can find me on Bandcamp. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Vimeo. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Spotify. Please go on Spotify. And SoundCloud.
Everywhere. Basically, you can find Pamela Sue Mann absolutely everywhere. I Want Your Soul is the single. Pamela, thank you for joining us and keep up the very, very good work.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great hanging with you.
Rupi Lal has his fingers in many pies. Not only can you catch him on Rupi Lal Primetime regularly, but also he's part of Cucumber Writers as well. And joins me now to tell me more. Hello, sir.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Not too bad at all, thanks.
Good. So the last time we had a catch-up was when we had the end-of-year quiz at the back end of 2020. A year we're quite glad to see the back of. And you've been doing absolutely shed loads of stuff, though, whether it be online or some of your more real-life things when time's allowed over the summer of 2020. And you're always a busy boy.
I try to be. I've got, obviously, we've all had a lot of time on our hands, so been just trying to keep myself busy, really, and... yeah, as you said, I've got my fingers in a lot of pies, so just trying to explore different avenues and trying to stay creative.
Absolutely. And with the Loudmouth going into schools on a regular basis, so we can only assume that will recommence fairly quickly as we find ourselves the schools reopening in March. Once you are able to get in there, you'll be making a massive difference in people's education. But allowing people online to get to grips with writing is intriguing too. So tell us a bit about Cucumber Writers.
Yeah, Cucumber Writers, it's a writing group that formed back in 2013. We all met. It was a group of about 10 to 11 writers and we went on a course at the Birmingham Rep Theatre called Right Away. So it was 10 weeks of getting tutored, going through different kind of classes, different types of writing. But we really enjoyed our company. We really enjoyed being with each other, and this collaborative writing was something that we, even though the course had finished, we really wanted to explore. So we stayed together. We started meeting every month and thinking to ourselves, well, can we put on shows ourselves? And the shows that we have done have been rehearsed readings. So you have actors that get maybe during the day to rehearse, but they perform with the script in hand. And again, audiencing, because I think what we found over the years is that as much as you think your writing is good, as much as everybody else gets, give you their feedback on the writing, it's the audience that let you know really whether the writing's working or not for you and for the actors as well. So we've done since 2013 when we started doing our own performances around Birmingham. We've done about 10 shows, I think now, about 10 shows. And the great thing for myself as a writer and as an actor, I've been able to perform in the plays that I've written, which is, to me, is a dream because it's a bit silly, but I remember when I first found out about the Rocky film, and now Sylvester Stallone, he wrote Rocky, but he wouldn't let anyone produce it unless they put him in it as Rocky. And I thought to myself, that's something I've always kept that with me. So it's something that I've always wanted to do, really, have something which is written by your hand, but you're in it as well.
Well, you know that character better than absolutely anybody, which is a good starting point, and you get the motivation behind how the story's due to be told. And that's what I suppose as well, the work that you've done, you've done TV and all sorts of things, putting other people's words and bringing them to life. It is nice to have that control over that character.
Yeah, definitely. I think, but as I said, when you have the audience in front of you, things can happen instinctively. Like, I think I was performing a play that I've written called Paji, which means brother in Punjabi. And it's a great story of what I find anyway, and I've had good responses from people that read it, about two brothers, Sikh brothers, who are locked in purgatory, and they're seeking forgiveness to find a way out. But when I was performing it in front of an audience, the emotions started to come and tears, and I never planned it to happen, obviously. But just, I don't know, you get something for it. I know it's a bit corny, but they do say it's magic theatre when you've got the audience there in front of you and you're performing. So, yeah, it is great when you've got that audience there. And
that's what separates good actors from those who are sometimes names that sell shows as well. I'm not doing anybody down, but you do find that on occasion is those actors that you don't know. If I don't recognise an actor, but I've seen them in loads of things, actually they're a great actor. It's where sometimes they stand out more. I'm tempted to say Tom Cruise. He's always Tom Cruise, isn't he? That sort of, and there is a place for that, absolutely. And the stuff that he does is amazing. I'd love to meet the fellow and congratulate him for his work. But it is a different sort of acting to the sort of dramas and telling a tale as opposed to being a big screen adventure.
Yeah, we're all storytellers at the end of the day, and it is different. But performing on stage to performing on radio, performing in front of the screen, there are differences. And I think my training was great at Rosebery for drama school in Sidcup in Kent, because it really prepared you in a sense for those different ways. But at the same time, you learn so much on the job. You really do. We've spoken before about my episode of Brum. How
can you not? It's got to be brought up at some point because it's still on telly today. At some point.
But I remember just having the little chairs with your name on the back, like that. I was like 18 years old, just putting my first proper TV job, and I just was like, wow, and having the catering service there and stuff, and it was just amazing. So yeah, you do learn a lot on the job.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that makes a difference. And it helps people grow into the roles that they have. And we see so many great TV actors. And there is a difference between stage, TV, and all the other sources of entertainment that which bring acting to life. And as I know you've worked in many of them, so you get the differences between all of those. And when you come back to the writing as well, I think sometimes you need to put it in front of an audience to have the confidence in what you've written, and you need others to be able to tell you how good something is, because you blow your own trumpet to a point, but actually I know that you're a very humble man, and you'll be doing everything you can to make something right, and we'll seek the the acceptance of others when it comes to something you've written, rather than just going, look, this is the way it must be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, over the last year, what I've been doing is I've sent kind of my ideas to a few people, and I've had a few responses as well. And it is that as much as you might believe in something, you do need other people to give you their feedback, and you need to be, as you said, humble enough to take that on board, and not just think what you've written is this is it, it's the best, because you have to take on people's ideas from other people, and it will help you as well. And I think that's the great thing about the collaborative that is Cucumber Writers, that we do have these monthly meetings where we share our work, we read it out loud, we get that feedback, and it does really, really help. And all the writers, they're just really, we're really not, it sounds a bit like big-headed, but we're really nice to each other, which is great. And at the same time, if we think something isn't working, we will let each other know.
Well, where do we find, first of all, Cucumber Writers and a series of work that you're sharing online, with you being the first to talk on this?
Yeah, so we've got a blog series that started with my own, that came out on Thursday. So Cucumber Writers, if you find us, the website is cucumberwriters.wordpress.com. Mm-hmm. So that's our main source, that's our website. We're on Facebook, if you just search for Cucumber Writers. And we're on Twitter at Cucumber Tweets. Check all three. You'll find the blog series. You'll find that there, and you can check all that out.
Rupi Lal, just search for Rupi, and you will find him on a number of different platforms. Check his out at his IMDb. That is worth a read too. And if we would fancy a bit of primetime Rupi Lal, that is online on Friday nights.
It is, yeah. I've put a hiatus on it at the moment, so I'm doing it occasionally. I did a stint, I think, during the second lockdown. Hopefully the third lockdown will be finishing soon, which obviously we've been told about. So it's come in there and again. But if you want to catch any of the shows, the Christmas show is on YouTube. If you search for my name, Rupi Lal, you'll be able to find the Primetime Christmas show.
Rupi, always a treat to speak to you. Thank you again for joining us. Keep up the good work and have some great fun with Cucumber Writers.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Zimbabwe-born, but currently living in the UK, Jerome Arab has some amazing music, and he joins me now to tell me more about his work. Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing there?
I'm very well, and we find you in the UK at the minute, but you have been a bit of a globetrotter in the past.
Yeah. I mean, spent a lot of time in Africa, but I also travel quite a lot in the UK in itself.
So is this with work, or is it family-based? How does your life revolve around different things?
Well, it is, a lot of the time it is work. I mean, right now I travel between Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, as well as Ghana, just recording most of the time, meeting new acts, and working with different people.
Well, tell us a bit about your musical background then.
Musical background, I started singing on stage at the age of about, I'd say 8 years old. Mm-hmm. I was singing on stages. I opened for a group called the Rusiki Brothers in, this was basically Zimbabwe. So they were quite a big band. They were my uncles, and they brought me in, and I used to open for them, singing Michael Jackson covers. Mm-hmm. And then from there, that grew into love with Stevie Wonder, and I would perform at lots of people's weddings. And then at the age of 11, I started to songwrite. And then that gradually led into me becoming an artist at the age of 17 and recording and pretty much trying to put that together from there onwards.
Well, I mean, I'm loving what you're doing at the moment. You've sent me through your single and video, and we're going to take a listen to that in a short while's time. But your music is in several different genres as well. So what are you currently classing yourself as?
I'm venturing into a new genre of music called Afrotone. It's basically, Afrofusion is where I stemmed from, where I would basically merge sounds with Afro. So it would be R&B, but then it would have an Afro element. It would be pop, but with an Afro element. It would be hip hop, but with an Afro, African element. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, okay, I'm quite liking a certain sound where I don't feel like it's been created yet. So Afrotone is what I'm calling the sound, and I'm venturing into that.
But we're not just talking music. We've got rap in there in some ways, but it's more than just a standard rap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's melodic rapping. It's simply taking after the likes of if you're a hip hop head, then you've probably heard people like T-Pain, even Drake actually does a lot of that type of rap, that melodic rap, which kind of, if you ask me, it is pretty much it's pop music now.
Yeah, but it's like Nas or Tupac as well. I mean, that sort of area isn't that far from what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to take, funny enough, you're going back to that. I listen to a lot of Biggie because I like his swagger. I think, like, for what it is, he's probably like one of the biggest rappers in terms of his vocal ability and his flow and stuff. Like, I pretty much praise the ground he walks on there. But yeah, Tupac and them, same thing. That melodic thing that you add, that element that you add to your vocal, it helps make it a little bit easier for people to sing along to. So that's why I call it pop.
Well, with the work that you've done on this current release, you've got a video that runs alongside it. So tell us a bit about the background to that as well, because that is part of telling the story. Yeah,
so Original was off my debut album. That's why I sent it your way. And it was something that was really close to my heart. It's a video we shot in Lusaka, Zambia, in a compound. A lot of the kids in this compound are told that they'll never ever be more than just a worker or whatever it is. And when I kind of touched base with the group that they're part of, I was trying to find out more what they wanted to do, and a lot of them were like, I want to be an artist. I want to be the person on TV. So I basically came up with a budget, went all the way back, spoke to their parents, asked their parents if they could sign release forms so that their kids could actually appear in the video, and I said they'd be the stars of the show. And the message to them there was, you're not as far as you think you are, like, just keep on believing in your dreams, and hopefully one day you will definitely be the person on TV. And there they were, watching themselves on TV a few weeks later.
For me, though, I mean, we are woefully underserved by music from the African continent in the UK, and that doesn't make any sense with the influences that we have, with the good and the bad sides of the Commonwealth that's been part of the UK's and a lot of Africa's history. So, why do you think we're not getting more that is specifically from Africa?
The UK it's a little bit like America right now in terms of it focuses on anything that is inside. It doesn't really look at external. So even for myself, if I wasn't coming back and forth, the chances of me engaging this network or even being involved in it is slim, like it's next to nothing. And I had the conversation at BBC Introducing 2 years ago, where I said the representation that we have of Africa is people that are born here, raised here, making music from here. They come back to the continent, record, and then come back here. I was like, you don't have anyone that's first generation, and if you do, it's like 5 people, and that's it. Then the rest is all like they're born out here, making music out here, and just come and collect and come back. I was like, there's no crossover. So I don't know. I think it's that thing of, well, Africa needs to set up their system, besides what's going on in the UK, where we are actually registering tracks and also pitching and trying to create that network.
Well, Spotify gives us much more of a global market. Your music, I know, is on there. Where else can we find out what you're doing and hear what is a huge back catalogue of work?
You could anywhere, pretty much. I distribute, and I like to give these notes. I distribute with DistroKid. So if you're an artist and you're looking at distributing music, I would definitely go and check out DistroKid. It's $40 for you to just distribute unlimited amount of material a year. So I'm on all the major platforms. So feel free to just Google Jerome Arab, and my whole catalog will pop up. If you're on Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, you name it.
And if you had to sum yourself up in 2 sentences, we'll let you have. You can have commas, but how would you do it? What would you say?
Jason, don't have commas. Well, I'll just say I'm an artist. That's the easiest way to put it. I'd say I'm an artist. I'm passionate about the arts, and I love to create.
Well, you're certainly a very talented artist. We'll prove that now by listening to Original. There is so much more besides that you can listen to. This is so accessible, and I think bringing a genre of music to life, which you're making up as you go along in some ways, which I absolutely adore. Jerome Arab, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
If I ain't right for you, tell me to leave, tell me to go, baby, tell me to leave. You knew exactly who I be when we met up and you fell in love with me. Now you complain about the grind, saying I work and we never spending time. Nothing that I do ever sits right with you. I know you try to change me. Know you try to change me. Know you try to change me. I know you try to change me. I know you try to change me. You know you won't change me. Girl, you better let it go, 'cause I'm too original. Girl, you better let it go, 'cause I'm too original. Try to change me. Know you try to change me. Know you try to change me. I know you try to change me. Know you try to change me. You know you won't change me. Girl, you better let it go, 'cause I'm too original. Girl, you better let it go. If I ain't right for you,
Thursday, the 4th of March, we have another talk from LGBT Sparkle. Paul Ryder joins me now to tell me what they've got going on this week. Hello.
Hello, Jason. We've got the lovely Amy. She will be talking around the myths around fostering in the LGBT community.
Amy, good day to you too. And tell us a bit about yourself, first of all, and your job title, so we know what you're up to.
My name's Amy Fahure. I work for a national fostering group under the name Childcare Bureau, and my role is to help and support those who are initially interested in wanting to pursue a role and career as a foster carer with us. I got in touch with Paul recently, and I told about my plans to raise awareness within the LGBT community around fostering, ensuring those within the community are aware that they can foster and what the requirements and the process would be if they would like to start the process with us. And Paul recently invited me to talk in his support group next Thursday to the community, to the group, about fostering and raising awareness and kind of crushing those myths around fostering that do exist at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because for fostering you need a caring, loving home, any background, gender, sexuality and ethnicity have no bearing at all on this.
Yeah, nothing. It's all about if that foster carer can provide a safe and loving environment. It's one of our mottos at our agency that regardless of that person's background, sexuality, ethnicity, that they are welcome to foster. We have children from all sorts of backgrounds needing a foster home, so we need those carers too. And we do support that our agency. We are partners with the New Family Social as well, who offer support and advice to families who are within the LGBT community. And it's important, you know, for me to spread awareness of that. And that's one of the main reasons why me and Paul connected, because we feel it's so important to make sure that everyone's the same, everyone has the same opportunities to foster and to be involved in helping saving a child's life, essentially.
Yeah, you're basically helping them to form relationships and be part of a family, to allow them to grow and expand and learn and really be the ones who facilitate that. And being outside of the state care system can make such a difference to the way in which they interact. They're not in an environment which is non-standard, and that's the thing. They get to live in a family home, and that's such an important part of a child's life growing up.
It is, yeah. It's stability, normality.
Mm-hmm.
It's waking up in the morning to have your breakfast, to go to school, to have dinner on the table at 5 o'clock after school. It's those small things that a lot of our children are missing out of, because we are lack of foster carers. We don't have enough of foster carers to offer these loving homes to these children. So it's really important that we do make awareness around this issue, in all walks of life.
Mm-hmm. Now, fostering obviously is different to adoption. You're not looking to making somebody the legal guardian. They are a foster carer. They look after them for a period of time. It could be a particularly long period of time, but they're really there for those moments in their life when they need somebody.
Yeah, and for those small moments, that foster carer is changing that child's life, even if it's only for a month or 3 months or 6 months. That foster carer is responsible for putting a smile on that child or young person's face, just giving them that kind of new start in life to know that the world is their oyster. They've got so much potential. So it's a very rewarding role. It's difficult, we will say that, but it's very rewarding and so needed.
Because a foster carer can actually make it possible for someone to realise they can go back into a home. They may have had a bad environment as a kid. There are all sorts of ages here, but they could have learnt that actually a normal home life in a house might not seem to be the right thing for them because of the situation they've been in. Foster carers can change that and give that security and sense of belonging again.
Yeah, exactly. You're completely right there, Jason. It's it's the right thing. It's giving them a second chance in life again to have stability, to have a family, and to have somewhere they can call home and feel safe.
Paul, when you're doing these talks within the group, obviously you're talking to a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds. Does this one particularly hit home with you?
Not me personally, but like Amy said, I think we need to break down them barriers and the myths in the LGBT community about fostering. Not home to me, but I think it might have hit home to a lot of people out there, and I thought it would be really interesting to connect with Amy.
Yeah, and Amy, when it comes down to the sort of process here, there is training, there's care, there's assistance, and there's a phone line 24/7.
Yeah, we offer 24/7 support to all our foster families, including training to help manage and support the need of a child or young person in your care. You have regular visits and support contact with your social worker and a family support worker. So there's a lot of support on hand and ready for our foster families. And for those who are wanting to foster as well, we support you from the day one, from the first day you submit an application. The support doesn't stop with us. We know it's not a job you can't do completely alone. You need those people around you to kind of help you through the challenging times as well.
Mm-hmm. And this is something which can be taken on by people of any age. It could well be somebody's had a family and they've left home. And, however your family background's been in the LGBT plus community, there are many moms, dads out there who are part of that community and who, I say, have already had kids and will have skills to bring.
Yeah, completely. And the same with the children who do come into our care are from the LGBT community as well. So having carers as well as that, it helps those children to relate, to feel a sense of belonging as well. So, it's not just LGBT foster carers we need. We also have children who are from the LGBT community already and have not had the support from maybe their home life to learn about the community they're in and to be able to feel like themselves.
Mm-hmm. And it could be the background on their sexuality which has made their home life difficult in the past, and being able to then provide a normal environment where it is just normal, because we know it's normal. It's other people's attitudes that are abnormal that you need to be able to share that love.
Yeah, it's all about acceptance, and for a child to be who they want to be in the care of a foster carer who loves them no matter what.
Absolutely. So, Paul, give us all the details of where people can join this full discussion, and you get more details on Thursday.
You can find us on Facebook, LGBT Sparkle Wolverhampton. Our lovely speaker Amy will be talking to our group this Thursday, the 4th of March.
So make sure you come along, look for the group on Facebook, and you'll be able to take part in that group. So open to all, but to the focus on the LGBT plus community. Paul, remind us again what we're searching for that private group.
You can find us on Facebook, LGBT Sparkle Wolverhampton.
So you can get the details there. But for now, Amy Vure and Paul Ryder, thank you both for joining us.
Thanks so much.
That's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 611 next week. I hope to have you along for that. See you soon. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.